Wow. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. Leny Yoro is a Manchester United center back. It's a beautiful day, chat. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. Leny Yoro. What number is he going to wear, chat? What do we think? I can't lie, chat. If you look at my history on Twitter, right, in the last few months, Leny Yoro has been a target for Man United and a rumor for them to sign for months now. But I don't think I ever really was tweeting about him. I don't think I was ever really like saying, oh, if we get him this, if we sign him, we could do that. I'll be real with you guys. There hasn't been a single part of me all summer long that actually believed that there was any legitimacy to us signing Leny Yoro. I believed we wanted to buy him. I believed that he was a target for us. But in my mind, as soon as I saw him in the Champions League final at Wembley, watching Real Madrid, and knowing that Real Madrid were interested in him, and knowing that he would be keen on joining Real Madrid, in my eyes and in my head, as far as I was concerned, this shit wasn't happening. We were not signing Leny Yoro if Real Madrid were interested. But the fact that Man United, Dan Ashworth, Omar Berrada, INEOS have been able to get this kind of deal over the line this early into the transfer window, I am over the moon. I'm impressed, I'm surprised, I'm shocked, but I am absolutely delighted. Leny Yoro is a Man United player for the next 5 to 6 years. And at 18 years old, chat, let's not get it twisted. He is not the finished article. You're going to be seeing on Twitter in the next few days, rival fans, people who don't like Man United, maybe salty Real Madrid fans, posting errors in Leny Yoro's game. Look at this exact moment where he lost the ball or he slipped in this moment. I'm here to tell you guys right now, he's 18. Those highlights that you're watching probably came when he was 16 or 17 or 18. Mistakes are normal. Mistakes are expected to happen, especially at 18 years old. But the level of talent that Man United are acquiring in the form of Leny Yoro, both how good he is right now and how good and how high his potential ceiling is, for me, it's one of the best moves I can remember United making post Sir Alex Ferguson. And that's not me trying to overhype him. That's not me trying to put too much pressure on the kid. And it's not me even saying that he will end up being this. But for the age, for the profile, and for how long you've tied him down, it is a massive, massive coup. It's a massive statement signing, and it has the potential to be a cornerstone signing at center back for the next 10 to 15 years for Man United, if all bodes well. He is that good. He is that talented, and his ceiling is that high. You look at the ball playing, exceptionally gifted with his feet. I'm gonna make sure to show you guys a comp. We're gonna analyze Leny Yoro's game in depth. You look at the height. A big issue that I've had with Man United the last season in particular is that, look, I already don't really rate the technical level of this team. I think technically Man United last season were a very, very poor team. But on top of that, the physical levels of this team were very, very poor. You had short players. You had players who weren't very fast. You had players who weren't very athletic. You had weak players. You had guys who couldn't run anymore. Guys who were in their late 30s. Guys who are in their early 30s but play like they're in their late 30s. Man United got popped off the park technically, but they also got ran off the park athletically, physically. In Leny Yoro, you have a guy who's what? 6'4", 6'3", excuse me. He's a big guy. He's a big kid. That side of Man United already has improved. You have a guy that on the front foot in terms of bringing the line a little higher because of his recovery pace, his ability to play out of the back. That's something that Man United haven't really had a good mixture of for a very, very long time. And as much as I love Lisandro Martinez, and as much as I loved Rafael Varane, both of them impacted how high a line we could play and how much we could really build up from the back. Both of them in their own regard. Lisandro Martinez is probably my favorite player at the club. I absolutely love him. In my opinion, arguably the best ball-playing center back in the world. Such a good in-box defender as well, too. Close proximity, 6-yard box defending, putting your body on the line, heading off the line. There's no one, like, he's up there with the best. But he does have issues in his game. In wide areas when he gets dragged out, it's not his best. When the line is pressed up and there's space in behind to run at him, his legs are short. He's not able to cover ground as much as a Konate or a Saliba. He has his weaknesses. Every player has their weakness. You partner that next to a Varane who he's had in the last few years. And again, the box defending between the two of them is great. But Varane also will tell you himself, ball at his feet. I actually think he was underrated at times, but still not an elite level ball playing center back. An elite defender, but ball at his feet, you could get better. And Yoro, this is not me saying that he's already better than Varane or that he will eclipse Varane, because Varane is like a prestigious center back for what he's done from 19 to now. But Yoro has that kind of potential. From where Varane was at Lens when they bought him in 2011, Yoro is of that caliber. So for United to be able to beat the likes of Liverpool and beat the likes of Real Madrid, and this is not me saying that, oh, everybody put the same offer on the table, so United came with United were just more attractive for Yoro. I'm not trying to say that. I'm very aware that, look, if Real Madrid offers 60 million this summer and it's between United and Real Madrid, Yoro is going to Real Madrid. I'm very aware of that. But Man United A could have very easily just said, oh, he has his eyes set on Real Madrid. Let's not even try and convince him. Or say, oh, maybe in a year we'll try and get him for free. No, they said, look, we value this kid so highly. We believe this kid is such a top talent that we are going to do everything in our power to kind of add to this core of the team for the next 5-10 years and get him any means possible. So for me, I'm over the moon about this deal. Honestly, I'm very aware that, look, he's going to come in. He's going to have errors in this game. He's not going to start every single game for Man United. Don't get it twisted. He's 18. But for what it means now and what it means in the next few seasons, what this kid can potentially become, I am very ecstatic. And I think every single Man United fan should be very happy with A, the signing of Leny Yoro, but B, the direction in which INEOS are already starting to guide this football club. It's as simple as that. Do I start him in the Community Shield or not? I don't know, bro. I can't lie. I think United needs to ease him into preseason. We need to see how he looks. We need to see if United signs another center back in this window because the links to De Ligt still exist. I think Branthwaite, this probably makes it unlikely because I don't think they're going to spend 150 million basically on 2 young center backs. But I would be playing him in preseason and seeing what this kid is made of. How ready is he to play against the top English teams? This is a signing I never expected. Like I said, bro, I had no idea that United were actually going to get this deal over the line. I could not believe it, bro. This signing's in use. Yeah, 100%, bro. This is a statement signing for INEOS, bro. Honestly, I'm still seeing a few United fans on social media. They're pessimistic. Are INEOS, they say they want to change the name of the stadium. They want to do this. Bro, let the experts get to work. You guys know how I felt about Erik ten Hag. I wanted him sacked last year. Look, bro, I have my own opinions. I probably would have fired Erik ten Hag, but I'm not the expert here. I'm not Omar Barada. I'm not Dan Ashworth. I'm not, what's his name? Jean-Claude Blanc. I'm not Jim Brailsford or whatever his name, Dave Brailsford. I'm not these guys, bro. I like to know, I think I know a bit about football, but I'm not an expert. These guys are top of their class. So for me, the minute they came in, you got to put all bias aside, all agenda aside, and let them get to work. And if this is the result, I'm very happy to say which side I chose, bro. Rival fans talking shit on the feed, bro. One thing about rival fans, they're going to talk shit anyway, so take it with a grain of salt. But how much did United end up paying on Leny Yoro? What is it, like 60 million euros if everything is achieved? Is that basically what I read? 52 million pounds, and that's if everything gets achieved. If all the add-ons end up happening, you're spending 52 million pounds on an 18-year-old who is going to be with you for 5 to 6 years. I don't get how you can say that's not a good deal. The only thing you can say, but this is how you guys have to think about it, chat. It was either sign him this year for 52 million or let him go next year for free to Real Madrid. If you are in a straight bidding match with Real Madrid, fee for fee is the same, price tag for price tag, wage for wage, you are going to lose to Real Madrid. So, to make sure you get your guy and kind of put yourself in the front of the line, you're going to have to overspend and you're going to have to pay a premium price to do it. So I have no issue with United spending 52 million on Leny Yoro. Because you have to take the context into account. But then also, right, 52 million pounds, right? If he ends up being what we expect him to be, guys, in 5 years, 52 million pounds is going to be a bargain. It's going to be a bargain. I really don't get, I mean, I get the outrage. It's people being haters. But really, if we're looking at this absolutely objectively here, we're betting on his potential. If his potential ends up being what we think it is, 52 million pounds on this guy will be an absolute bargain. No one will ever talk about his price tag. Is he going to be with us for 5 years? That's another point. Oh, he's using us as a stepping stone for Real Madrid. First of all, that's not how football clubs think. They can't think, oh, it's like a loan for 3 years. But let's say Leny Yoro in 3 years is so good that in 3 years he decides, I want to go to Real Madrid. First of all, in those 3 years, we would have had an elite world level center back because for Real Madrid to still want you in 3 years, you have to be damn good. So in 3 years, we already got 3 great years from Leny Yoro. And then if Real Madrid wants to buy him from us in 3 years, first of all, we have two plus an additional year. So 3 years of him still left on his contract. And if they want to buy Leny Yoro from us, you think they're going to spend 52 million on him? If Leny Yoro ends up being what we think he is and Real Madrid want him in 3 years, they're spending 100 million on him to buy him from United with 3 years left on his deal. And he's that good. This is a win-win for United. I'm sorry. The only way this doesn't work out is if he's an absolute bust. That's it. But this whole thing of, oh, is he going to be with you long term? Oh, did you spend too much money on him? This is the price you have to pay for young premier talent. For me, I can't wrap my mind around how you can look at the situation like that. Do I think these young players being brought in will work well under Erik ten Hag? Well, I hope so. I certainly hope so. But another thing too, right? You guys have to understand that these are club signings. This is not an Erik ten Hag signing, right? Well, no, okay. I'm not going to take away credit from Erik ten Hag by saying it's not an Erik ten Hag signing because he clearly also had a voice in the signing. He clearly had to pass his judgment on it. He said, yeah, I would love to work with him. But what I'm trying to say when I say it's not an Erik ten Hag signing is when you're signing an 18-year-old for that long, you're not selling Leny Yoro specifically on working with Erik ten Hag. You're selling him on a long-term United project. And football moves fast. Erik ten Hag could be gone from Man United in a year. So it's not just a question of how does Leny Yoro fit into Erik ten Hag's plans. If Erik ten Hag is a massively successful manager of Man United for 5-6 years, then brilliant. But even if he's not, it's like, how is Leny Yoro part of Man United's future? It's not on Erik ten Hag's future. It's Man United's future. He is now, when I say he's a cornerstone for me is like an ever-present. He's a constant. Any manager that Man United comes and hires, if Erik ten Hag doesn't work out at United, Leny Yoro is one of the players that he will look at and say, yep, that's a part of my project. That is a firm part of my project. Everything else I have to worry about. Maybe a new left back, maybe a new right wing. Not center back. I don't have to worry about center back now because Leny Yoro is an ever-present in Man United's future. That's what I mean by that. Wow. Bro, that's really the thing that I noticed the most, chat. I can't lie. Like, how long his legs are. Like, he gets in, like, into tackles and, like, wins the ball without even getting in front of his defender, right? Or in front of his attacker, right? Like, you're always struggling to, like, wrestle with your attacker to get to the ball before him. But, like, he doesn't even have to get in front of his attacker. All he has to do is just stretch out one of his legs. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the most impressive part of his game. It's like how tall the guy is. And then, of course, too, he anticipates very, very well. He anticipates very, very well. Of course, because he's so tall, he has an advantage because, like, he can cheat a little bit, right? Lisandro cannot cheat like this because if he doesn't get there first, the other guy's gone and he's leaving him in the dust. Yoro, because of how long his legs are, he can cheat a little bit. That's going to be a really good, like, dynamic between the two of them. Will they still go after another center back? Obviously, we've heard talk from Ornstein, from Fabrizio, that just because their pursuit of De Ligt or Yoro or Braithwaite, it doesn't mean that they're only going after one. They could very easily end up signing two center backs. And with Varane already gone, and with the futures of Maguire and Lindelof looking increasingly uncertain, I wouldn't discount United signing another center back. Now, does that mean I think they're going to sign Braithwaite? I don't think so. I think Braithwaite for the 60-70 million pounds that Everton are asking for, and especially because they already signed Onana, which probably definitely eased their financial burdens that they kind of needed to relieve this season. I don't see United going in and signing Braithwaite on top of Leny Yoro. I could very well see Matthijs de Ligt coming to the club still. That deal is rumored to be around, 37 to 42 million pounds. And I think it just makes much more sense, right? Senior statesman, has experience at big clubs, can kind of be that guy that allows Leny Yoro time to bide in and learn the league and adapt to a new country in general. I could definitely see Matthijs de Ligt still coming to Man United. I think the only issue for him is, like, does he come with the knowledge that long-term he's not first choice probably? Like, I don't see him being first choice at the club. Or maybe, is there a potential that Lisandro ends up playing a bit of left back this season and it is a center back partnership of De Ligt and Yoro? Is that a potential, Chet? Could that possibly happen? Laurie Whitwell has also said, of course, he's tier 1 for United, that they are still going for another defender after Yoro. Definitely should go for another center back, but I think a DM is much more needed. Yeah, and we will definitely talk about that, right? Obviously, the main name that they keep talking about is Ugarte. I have my own opinions on that. But I'll kind of wait for that to kind of play out because at the moment, I still think it is all talk. I think people are getting carried away with Ugarte. Like, I don't think there's been real, legitimate evidence that United are pushing hard for Ugarte. Like, I think he's on their radar, but I think people are acting like that's like a done deal. Like, that's definitely going to happen. It's funny, right? Because United in our group chat, right? SDS group chat, Abs and Liban were talking about United this year with stars, and like they were talking about some of the potential moves that United could be making. And I think it was between, I think they were saying, how would you rate 1 through 10 a summer of De Ligt, Ugarte, Braithwaite, Xerxes? And maybe there was a fifth one as well too. I think those were the 4. I think they asked us that. And I said, chat, I can't lie, that for me is like a 5 out of 10 signing. A 5 out of 10 summer. I'll be real. Like, Ugarte, I'm going to go into depth when like that becomes more legitimate. And I was kind of saying, that's for me an average signing. Comes with its own issues. De Ligt for me is a nice center back option, but in terms of like that strengthening our center back position, that much, not for me. Xerxes, I think, has potential, but I'm very skeptical as well too about how he fits into this team when everyone is fit. And United still have a goal scoring issue if Xerxes is still your number 9, even though I like him as a player. And then Braithwaite, I think, is good, but like, I don't know. For me, Yoro it excites me more personally. Yoro now. You add Yoro to those guys, I'm looking now at like a 7 out of 10 summer. I still think you need a lot more talent, and you definitely need to get rid of a lot of that deadwood. But signing a talent like Leny Yoro, now I'm excited. Because this, for me, is a Man United level talent. That's the kind of talent that this football club should be aspiring to surround all over the pitch. De Ligt, he's good, man. He's good. I'm not going to say he's not a good center back. But that doesn't excite me personally. I don't think it raises the ceiling of this team that much. I don't think a player like Ugarte raises the ceiling of a team that much. And Xerxes, I think the jury's out on him as well too. But Yoro, this is talent. This is something I can really get behind. This is the kind of transfer I can really co-sign and say, you know what? I like the direction INEOS are taking us now. This one I can get behind. How am I not moved by De Ligt? I mean, let me tell you this, Tammy Rambouillet. Again, like I said, I think he's a good center back. But this is a guy that has now played at Juventus, Bayern, and Ajax. And Juventus got rid of him. Bayern are now getting rid of him. And you can give me all the context in the world you want. But let's be real. If De Ligt was an elite level center back, he wouldn't have left Juve and he wouldn't have left Bayern. He's a good center back. Some could argue he's a very good center back. But he's not a center back that's changing life for me at Man United. He's not, for me, massively increasing the ceiling of this team. That's the way I look at it. It's tough to do that in one window, though. We'll take multiple solid windows. And yeah, absolutely. I'm very aware that United, it's a work in progress. And here's the thing too, right, chat? Let's talk about the likes of Mason Mount. Mason Mount, without even making this as cliche as it's going to sound, Mason Mount is going to be like a new signing for Man United this year. Mason Mount, playing exceptionally well this year, will be like a new signing for Man United. It's a profile we didn't have before he got there, and it's a profile we barely got to see last year. So Mason Mount, for me, is like a new signing on top of the guys that we're going to sign. Rashford has the potential to be like a new signing. He has the potential to be like a new signing because let's face it, last year, he was a complete non-entity. Him returning to goal-scoring form that we know he's capable of will be like a new signing. Rasmus Højlund having another year under his belt and becoming more acclimatized to the league and learning the position a bit more will be like a new signing. And Andre Onana not throwing the ball in his own net for half the season will be like a new signing. So those kinds of things will improve the team on top of the signings that we're already making. Which is why, to be honest with you, I think if United remain fit, they should be making top four. They should be making top four. I think they're very different. They're quite a bit away from City and Arsenal. But I'm sorry, I look at the rest of the league, and if United remain fit, there's no reason why, for me, United shouldn't be making top four. What four teams can I categorically say I'm better than? Categorically sounds like I'm saying they're 1,000% better than them. I'm not trying to say that. But it's not difficult to make the top four, guys. Aston Villa just made the top four last year. Newcastle made the top four the year before that. And that's not me dissing either of those two. But are you going to tell me now that Aston Villa and Newcastle have miles better squads than Man United? I'm sorry. No, they don't. I don't think so. I personally do not believe that. So if they can make the top four, there's no reason why, for me, United cannot make the top four next year. It requires Erik ten Hag to seriously remember how to coach, which, as much as I slated him last year, I've never in my life said Erik ten Hag isn't a good coach. I question the fit with Man United, but I wouldn't say he's not a good coach. And I look at the talent that United has and the squad they have. I'm not saying I'm expecting a title charge because I think we're far off that. But to make top four, you don't have to be exceptional to make the top four in Premier League. How many times do we say at the end of each season, the top four race almost ends up being who's the least shit?